Hill here in Leeds is slowly picking up the pieces after the devastating violence that this area saw on Thursday of this week and through much of the night of Thursday and Friday. But picking up the pieces of the damage done to the community and to the whole area is not going to be that easy unless, of course, this turns out to be a wake-up call, which many believe it ought to be and certainly demand it must become. This is a very deprived area. We have a very high level of unemployment. A lot of people live on the margins here, and that means really difficult living conditions. A lot of people think Britain will not have poverty, but there is a great deal of it about, and it's not easy. And at the forefront, at the worst really of this, is the Romanian community here, traditionally the Gypsy community, that is living here in very dire conditions, as it does across all of Europe. The Roma have a hard time of it just about everywhere, and they do here as well. And the violence really was sparked by the move by the social security here to pick up children from a Roma family. And they gather now to consider what next, what they can do, not just to get past this violence, but to build a future for themselves that they could find decent and a future that they could live with. And in the midst of all this, we saw extraordinary heroism from a local councillor from the Green Party who went out of his way to try and contain the violence, to limit the crowds that were bent on attacking the police, and in fact who led a move to protect the police from the violence. He has seen this community for a long time, and he knows just how much is going wrong here.
I mean, with communities like Hare Hills, there's a lot of poverty, there's a lot of structural inequalities, there's a lack of opportunities. So all of these kind of issues are always bubbling under the surface, and it leads to a lot of frustration. So the structural inequalities in themselves can cause, they provide the foundation for something like this, and all it needs is a spark and the tinderbox explodes. But we need our communities to be built up properly. There's a lot of problems with the housing around here, really poor quality, lack of opportunities for the youth, lack of job opportunities for adults. So we need proper investment. We need those structural problems fixing in order to rebuild this community.
Deprivation does not, of course, just hit the Romanian community here. It hits just about everyone, and this area has a very significant population of people from Bangladesh, from Pakistan. A lot of them, of course, born in this country, and this whole region, in fact, is a region that is home to many, particularly from the Pakistani community and the Bangladeshi community. Leeds itself is right next to Bradford, and Bradford has long been the home of the Pakistanis here in Britain, and there is a significantly lower rate of achievement among the Pakistani and Bangladeshi communities relative to the national average. That simply is a government statistical finding, that is official. Low levels of education, low levels of home ownership, high levels of crime, high levels of poverty. And this is really a social correction that this area needs, as do many others around Britain.